Welcome to Focus Garage. Anders here. Today I'm going to talk about the 1,000 mile that we have done with these two bikes. So I was riding the R1, 2014 R1, and my buddy Dave was riding the MT10. I believe it's a 2018 MT10. So what we're going to discuss today is the R1, and we'll get Dave's opinion about the MT10 later on. But I wanted to talk about the modifications that I have done to the bike and how it held up during the trip and how I felt about them. So overall, to give you a little bit of summary, this was a about 2,500 mile trip, round trip. First section was 1,000 mile, and then we had to do it less than 24 hours for the iron butt, and then later on was another $1,500 miles coming back from our destination to our home. So the first leg of the trip, it was hard, and we got to do it in 22 hours, just barely in time, and we used every single one of the minutes on that 22 hours. It was tough, and if you think you're ready, you're not ready. Do more research, do more, uh, you know, practice, I would say, because you encounter stuff that you don't expect, and that's a trip about. And luckily, my bike didn't have any problem. It was very good. I love it so much, and it was comfortable. The stuff that I have done to the bike made it very comfortable and very capable of doing 2,500 mile in I want to say 3 to 4 days, I believe. And that first 1,000 mile in 22 hours, it was more than comfortable for me. Uh, Going back to this bike, how comfy it is. I didn't have any wind fatigue. I didn't have any problem with my wrists. I didn't have any problem with my back or shoulders. Anything that you can think of on a super sport, I did not have any problem with it. Luckily, I had a bag in front of me, tank bag, and when I got tired, I could lay on it a little bit, take the weight off my wrist and have a relaxed position of riding. And then the weight was lowered at the stop signs or like the stoplights or anything like that. When you get tired, that's when you start making mistakes. And I didn't have that because I was confident. I was able to put my foot down very confidently and not on my tippy toes. And loaded bike with the tank bag, and I had a tail bag as well. With the loaded bike, it like pushes the gravity up, and bike gets tippy. So when you're on your tippy toes, it gets very uncomfortable. On that point of view, it was perspective, I guess. It was very comfy. I didn't have any issue with that. And the throttle lock, oh my god. It was the best thing I have done right after the seat. The throttle lock, when I had I felt like, oh, my hand is getting a little buzzy, or like I need to take my right hand off the throttle. I could lock it and then let it go and hold it with my left and continue riding it, and it was comfy enough to. It was just enough time for me to remove my hand, to relax it, and made it big of a deal on a long stretch of road. And the seat. I am so glad I replaced it with the Cardo, and I will never go back to the stock seat. I don't care. The pound that adds to the bike, it's worth it. I could take it to the track day and ride it back home in comfy, no issue. So and the tank bag, like I said, it was enough for me to put my stuff in and have my phone accessible on top with the charger and all that stuff. So I was able to, at the quick stops, I could take a look at my phone, answer a couple of text messages or call someone, whoever I want to, and have it charged as well. So that was a really good to have on the tank bag. I want to do a deep dive on the Atlas throttle lock. I am so glad they sent me a unit to test it out, and at the end of the 2,500 miles, I am so glad I installed it. It didn't fail whatsoever. I would say the pros were able to remove my hand, able to lock the speed. That we were doing major highway, so I was able to just lock it and just cruise along the highway. And the one con that I could think of, and it happened, and it was not a con, but it was just like first world problem there within the first world problem, I guess. When you're going uphill, the bike, you're not locking the speed, you're locking the throttle position. So the bike will start to slow down, and when you're going downhill, bike will start to speed up. So you want to make sure you're not going too slow for the speed of the traffic, and you're not going too fast of the speed limit. So you want to be aware of that. But other than that, I will just lock it and it will stay on. I used the cheap Amazon throttle lock. It didn't work whatsoever with this bike, and I thought it was because of the e-throttle or whatever. It was just cheap. It was not meant for this bike. And when I had the Atlas, it didn't slip whatsoever. It stayed on, and it was so easy. And I saw Mike struggle, kind of like he had to do like two-hand thing while locking it. And with this, with a thumb, just like doing this and done. I didn't have to deal with doing this or whatever. So it was really nice to have it as a tool in my bag. And the other thing was the carbon seat. To talk about this, I spent my money for this, and I'm glad I did. It was the best modification that I actually did to this bike. I didn't have to break in. It was comfy from the ride off. It's not like this one. This motorcycle has a stiffer seat than mine for some reason. I mean, the padding is thicker on that. That could be it. But this one was comfy. I didn't have to do anything, any braking or anything. From like the mile 1 to 2,500 mile, it was same comfort. And it was comfy. I didn't get fatigued. So with the stock seat, after riding, I don't know, like 4 hours, 3 hours, even with the stops, like fuel stops, after a while, I'll be like, all right, I want to get off this bike. Like my seating position is not like it's hurting me. Like I'm not comfy. Changing seating positions after positions, like trying to find a comfort. But with this, I was comfortable all the way. All the positions that I have, like coming back all the way, going forward. And with the tank bag, I had to like push myself back. But when I didn't have the tank bag, I could move forward and still be comfy. And this right here, this leg where my legs are resting, it's not wide. Like some, I think with this Corbin seat, it's a little bit wider, and some other seats, it's wider than the stock, and you get this like suddenly your seating position is higher than your stock one. But with this, it's the same, so it keeps the seating position exactly the same as the OEM. Maybe like quarter-inch difference, but with the bike lowered, I didn't feel that. And doing the twisties, we have done, Tail of the Dragon and all the other roads around it. I was able to move myself easily on the bike to reposition myself. And the seat was not, I would say, seat was not a like negative point for that. I could move myself easily. If I would have to do this again, I'm not planning on doing it. I have done it once, and that's it. And for those people who are doing the Iron Butt rally, doing 1,000 miles every day for 11 days, kudos to them. I'm not planning on doing it. But these two modifications, I would do it right away. Any bike that I would buy from point of now to, whenever I die, I'm changing the seat to a Corbin seat. I love this so much. I'm doing this modification, and if it doesn't have a cruise control, I'm getting the throttle lock. I like on the long trips. It's worth it. It's so worth it. Man, I am speechless at this point because I can't believe I have done 1,000 mile on an R1. A lot of people, people I tell them, I told them doing this. They're like, pick a different bike. Don't do it on the R1. But it was comfortable. It was more, I mean, I didn't have any problem with the wind. I thought wind would be a really big problem, but I didn't have any problem. I thought my back would ache. Because of the seat, I didn't have that problem. My wrist, I didn't have that problem because of the throttle lock. I would say I have done the smartest modifications to the bike for the trip, and they paid off. They paid off well. It needs a cleanup. It needs a little bit of love. I have done 2,500 miles with this, so it needs an oil change. I did lubricate the chain every day. I know I was planning on doing it mid 1,000 mile, but we didn't have any rain or anything like that, so I just thought I'll just push it and see what happens, and it was good. And Dave didn't have a problem either. He had the same kind of modifications with the seat, and he has a cruise control, so he was able to set it on and just relax. So he didn't have any problem either. Yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go. If you guys have any questions regarding the trip, please let us know. We're gonna do a little bit of Q&A with the other guys that have two cruisers, like baggers, and a standard bike, I would say, CB 1100. So we'll ask their opinion, what they think about it, if they would do it again. I know at the end of the trip, the common thing was that we were not gonna do this. It was really cool. It was not a cool thing. It was a difficult task, but we accomplished it. If you have a good crew with you and you're smart about it, and you do a ton of research, you have to do a research and do trials, small trials, and then know your limit. That's the most important thing. Yeah, I'm gonna close it off. Let you guys go. Thanks for watching. If you guys haven't subscribed, please do so. And if you guys have any other questions regarding other vehicles that we have in our fleet, please reach us out on Facebook or Instagram. We're pretty good at responding back. Kudos to all.